Hi all, welcome to the video lecture series of Object-Oriented Programming. In this video lecture, we'll be discussing about the topic threads. One of the feature of Java programming language is it is a multi-threaded programming language, which means we can develop multiple threads within the same program. Now what is this multiple thread program means? A multi-threaded program means there will be more than one parts. That is, there will be at least two or more parts that can run concurrently. Concurrently means running parallelly at the same time without affecting each other. That is what we mean by concurrently. So when we have two or more parts within the same program that runs concurrently, we can make make use of the CPU at its maximum level. We can make the optimal usage of the CPU as well as all the available resources, and at the same time we can complete the task more faster. So each of these parts that runs concurrently are known as threads. So threads can be defined as a lightweight process within the same process. And threads allows a program to operate more efficiently by doing multiple things at the same time. So when we have threads in our program, we can do several things at the same time. So our entire program will get completed more faster, and at the same time we can make the maximum usage of all the available resources. We have multi-processing as well as multi-threading. Both of them are used to achieve multitasking. So what is multitasking? Multitasking is the process of executing multiple tasks at the same time. We use multitasking to utilize CPU. We know that our CPU, central processing unit, is capable of doing so many things. So if it has to be used properly, we should not make the CPU to sit idle. So we must give CPU more and more work at the same time. So this multitasking is used to utilize the CPU to its maximum. So multitasking can be achieved in two ways. It can be achieved by processes, or it can be achieved by threads. So multi-threading means we are implementing multitasking in terms of threads. First of all, we will see process-based multitasking. It is known as multiprocessing, which means more than one process at the same time. So how can we define a process? A process can be defined as a program under execution. That means we'll be writing a program, and once we execute that program, it will become a process. So each process, there must be a separate memory area. In other words, we can say that for each process, in order to get executed, there must be a separate memory area allocated for that, which makes this process heavyweight. That means if I have 5 processes, P1, P2, P3, P4 and P5, each of these processes will have their own memory area, and if these processes have to communicate with each other, they must know, or they must remember the memory address of each of these processes. For example, if P1 have to communicate with P2, then P1 must know the memory address of P2, because they don't share the same memory area. So this makes a process a heavyweight identity. Since it is heavyweight, the cost of communication between the process is very high. And why it is high? Because a process means a program under execution. So we use certain variables, arrays, etc. when we write a program. So for each of these variable and arrays, there will be separate memory areas. So altogether, one process will be having a bulk amount of memory. So when we switch from one process to the other, the switching process must keep in mind the current values of variables. For example, I have two processes, P1 and P2. Suppose I am going to switch from P1 to P2. So inside P1 there will be certain variables and arrays. So we have to keep in mind, we have to store the existing variables, or the values of the existing variables and arrays somewhere, because once we come back from the P2, now we are going to switch from P1 to P2. So we are going to jump from P1 to P2. Inside P2 we will be doing something, and then we will come back to P1 again. So when we come back to P1, we must get the previous values of all the variables and arrays. So we must be able to, we must keep it, or we must save all those variables and variable values and arrays somewhere, which makes this switching process very difficult. I hope you understood. So far we discussed about multiprocessing. Now we will see multi-threading. We have seen that both multi-threading as well as multiprocessing, they are used for multitasking. Now we will see how multitasking is implemented by means of threads. So first of all, we will define a thread. Threads are actually lightweight process that we have seen before. Why we are saying threads are lightweight? Because unlike processes, threads share the same memory address. That means if we have 5 threads, all these 5 threads will be sharing the same address space. There is no need for creating separate memory area for each threads. But in process, if there are 5 processes, we have to allocate separate memory area for each of these processes. But in case of threads, that is not required. That is the first point that you have to remember. Secondly, a thread is lightweight. Why? Because there is no need to allocate separate memory area. Since there is no need to allocate separate memory area, the context switching or the communication between threads is easier compared to the cost of communication required for between processes. And for these reasons, we will be using multi-threading other than multiprocessing, because once again, all the threads share the same memory area, so there is no need to allocate separate memory area as the number of threads increases. And threads don't allocate separate memory area, so saves memory. And since they are in the same memory space, there is no need of worrying about the context switching that takes place threads. Okay, so if you want to switch from one thread to the other, there is no need to worry about that because we are switching within the same memory. So there is no need to worry. From all the points that we have seen just now we will define what is a thread in Java. A thread is actually a lightweight process or a lightweight sub-process. It is also defined as the smallest unit of processing. So this is the general definition of thread. If somebody asks you what is a thread or define a thread, you have to define like this. A thread is a lightweight sub-process and it is the smallest unit of processing. And it is also mentioned as a separate path of execution. Why it is said to be a separate path of execution? We will see that. Threads are independent. That means if we have 100 threads, each of them are independent of each other. They don't bother about the others. They do not depend upon each other. That is why we are saying they occurs concurrently. That means parallelly without affecting each other. That's some weird meaning of concurrency. So why they are independent? Because if we have studied exception before, so if in one thread an exception gets raised, it is not going to affect the other threads. The other threads will work smoothly. And all the threads share the same memory area. So it is sharing between the threads. That is what takes place in case of memory area. There is no need to allocate separate memory area for each thread. So this is how the threads look like. We have our operating system here, okay, and inside the operating system we have several processes. Within the process we can have multiple threads. So in this example, in process 3 there is only one thread, that is T1. In process 1 we have 3 threads. In process 2 we have 2 threads. That means the threads are within the process. So all these 3 threads, T1, T2 and T3, shares the same memory area required for process 1. So all the 3 threads are having the same memory area. They share the same memory area. And so if T1 want to communicate with T2, there is no need to worry about context switching and all, because they are inside the same memory area. Similarly, for process 2 we have 2 threads and they are also sharing the same memory area as that of process 2. I hope it is clear. So all threads are within a process. So threads can be defined as sub-process, and since they share same memory area as that of the process, we can say it's a lightweight process. We will see some of the advantages of using multi-threading. First of all, it does not block the user because threads are independent. If you have multiple threads, means the threads are not going to block the user from doing anything. The user can do their own work, threads will do their own work. So we can perform multiple operations at the same time without getting affected each other. Secondly, we can perform many operations together, so it saves time. Suppose we have a complex task to do, and if we create 4 threads, so that we can divide the same task between these 4 threads. So all the 4 threads will work parallelly at the same time. So all the for the entire complex task gets divided among these 4. So they are doing it parallelly. So the work completion will not take much longer. Since these are done parallelly, we can save a lot of time. And finally, threads are independent. So if one thread is what we can say, if an exception occurs inside one thread, that is not going to affect the other threads. So the other 2 threads, suppose we have 3 threads, in one thread an exception occurred, so we have to bother about only that thread. The other 2 threads will work their own. There is no need to worry about them. I hope it is clear. We shall conclude now. We discussed about multitasking and the different ways in which we can implement multitasking. Then we discussed about threads in Java. We defined it. Then what are the advantages of using multi-threading in Java? What is multi-threading? We also saw a pictorial representation of threads, how it looks like inside an operating system. That is all in this video lecture. Thank you so much.